Hello, my kittens. Hopefully, everything is going well. You got your well deserved rest. You're moving forward. I can feel the rumble happening in the background. And look what we are having for today. We have very strong reading, something that's going to happen, something that is also destined. We have the major arcana. We cannot escape this. We have to go through it. So what does it mean in tarot? Have to. If you buckle yourself up at home in your shed and you don't go anywhere, you will not quote unquote have to. So but then it's going to be like storm is outside or something is happening outside that needs your participation and you're hiding, and so you successfully kind of, let's say, finish your hiding, and then you open when it's finally quote unquote clear, and then it just like slams in you, hits you. So this is kind of like one of those things that is going to happen, maybe not necessarily on this day, because that's the case with major arcana, but the very first opportunity. So keep this in mind. From this point on, this is what will be happening. And I have a feeling that's going to be rather sooner than later, given that on the 20th or 21st, Aquarius season starts, which means this might relate to it because we have two air elements over here. The Fool over here is numbered 0, which is the number of unlimited potential, right? So it does not have a specific place in the sequence of tarot cards. It could be the beginning, it could be the end. Are we planning the trip, or are we summarizing the trip, right? So that's kind of a thing, right? So the major arcana is always considered the Fool's journey through life, and as such is he's always present, and hence he doesn't need any number. So here he's standing on the edge of a cliff, in this deck a little bit more so than in the others. So he doesn't have a care in the world. He's holding his rose. We don't even have the little dog that is generally presented. The dog, in spite of really lovely feeling like our best friend, it's actually having a negative feeling in this card, which means it's society and what bites us and what kind of holds us back, right? So in this case, almost like, I don't know if you can see it, he almost looks like a Superman to me. Look at that. It's definitely kind of like proverbial harlequin Fool over here, right? So the white rose that he's holding in his hand, in the right hand, it should be usually in the left one, but nonetheless, it represents actually his purity and innocence, right? Right should be from the heart, right? On the left, that could be interesting because this is Osho Zen Tarot after all, so it's highly spiritual, and actually I might even agree with that because the left one will be cerebral. Actually, it's the opposite with the brain, but you know how it switches, right? So that's kind of like what we have, like that we are like thinking in the purest possible thoughts about that, right? So we do have the mountains everywhere, and clearly he's on a very, very high end because Fool, after all, represents God, who is descending down and trying this 3D experience, right? So this is kind of like really interesting because from the Fool, we are moving here right into the Magician. And even though we have this Four of Wands, which signifies, hey, something is getting forward, something is coming to the next level, we are kind of handling this, right? So this Magician card is numbered 1, right? And it's kind of like somebody who can manifest things, who is very resourceful, has power, and the actions are very inspired, right? So it can indicate that we have, these are beginnings, and this one, in fact, it says beginning with, okay, you're ready to get out of the house. It's not like I'm going to work today, I'm going to work. You are going to work today, right? So it's very important that, you know, in Egyptian, kind of like they have a little bit interpretation. So I'm going to go with that because after all, I'm choosing decks to give me that flavor as well, right? So the symbolism here is different. Like we simply do have a story here that is really talking about that, right? And generally, the Magician always brings us the resources and energy that we need to make this happen. So maybe you have been brewing with the New Year's let's say dedication and celebration, and like now you kind of like set some kind of like I guess decisions in place, but at this stage you're kind of defining them. You are kind of like also ready to turn your ideas into reality. So in your, let's say, quest to manifest your goals, you at this stage have to establish a clear vision of what you will create and why before you act, right? So it's not enough to be motivated. Yes, I'm still in bed, I'm still sleepy, but I'll go to work. You really need to get out, right? So what is motivation by ego? Ego is money, status, or fame, right? But here we really need to have a soul connection to our goals and intentions, right? And right now you are bestowed with it. You are a powerful and creative being, and this is your opportunity to bring your higher self in really alignment, right? So when you're clear about what and your why, then the magician calls you to take an inspired action. We see lots of magicians and celebrities which are trying to be guides, and this is not to say that some of them are starting with the purest motives or changing the world. Some of them are landing on that and realizing that they have to be there. But nonetheless, none of us is perfect. So we need to be also kind to ourselves and understand that if you have fallen before, that it doesn't have to happen this time around. So guys, as I said, I'm seeing this turnaround point. Maybe the weekend's rest and relaxation was a message to prepare. And now it's time to roll up your sleeves and be who you are. Be very authentic and move it forward. Love you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.